Hi, I'm Becky Schimpff. I'm the ABANA Education Chair. I'm also on the CBA Education Committee, and my jam is teaching the curriculum, the national curriculum. So for those of you who don't know what that is a step-by-step progression through blacksmithing skills, starting from beginning to going to what we would call a journeyman. And it builds as you go through each level. There's 3 levels. The first one is level 1. In level 1, you learn things like making tapers, you learn how to make hand tools, you learn how to forge weld, you learn how to scroll, you learn how to forge to dimension, a whole bunch of other fun things like punching and drifting. And by the end of that, our goal is that somebody would come out of level 1 and say like, hey, I want to go make this thing, and I have the skill set to think through what tools I need to make, what skills I need to do that. From level 1, we go on to level 2, and then we start getting into things like joinery and scrolling. I've got some examples here of some level 2 grills. They've changed over time. In terms of, this is Frank Agenhofer's level 2 grill. So you can see what's going on here is we have some joinery, we have square corners, we've got mortise and tenon joints, we've got collars, we have scrolls that are matching. So this is where it's getting more complicated than level 1. It's not just forging to dimension, but you have to make multiples and forge those to dimension so they match. And then this is a more recent version of the grill, and you can see here you've got matching S-scrolls with different finials on them, and part of this is learning how to do these different finials. And then also we've got square corners that you can see here, and then mortise and tenon joints and collars. And again, all of this is about trying to get this to forge to dimension. If you had a commission and you needed something that had to fit into a space, this is kind of the beginning of learning how to do that. So that's kind of the idea behind level 2. Level 2 also has some builds on level 1. We get more complicated punching and drifting. We get more complicated forge welding. We start getting into more complicated tooling. And then we get to level 3. And here we have David Godfredson's level 3 grill. And you can see we've taken the skills of level 2 and we've made them even more complicated. You need to make 4 matching quadrants. Each of these, each quadrant here is exactly the same, and they all have to match. So they're all mirror images of each other. And then you have to figure out how to put all this together. And in here, in order to do this, you need to do a number of forge welds. Forge welding here to get this part put together, forge welding here to get that put together, and then you need to do a double square corner, which is a challenge in itself. 1 square corner is hard, 2 square corners is extra hard. And then we have these welded collars here, which require some really complicated tooling. And so on.
Look at that tooling too.
Yeah.
By now.
And that's what he's going to demonstrate today, is the tooling for that. And I don't know if his storyboard's out, but if it is, let's take a look at that.
Yeah, let's.
Because his storyboard is kind of amazing. Oh yeah, it's over here. So let's go look at his storyboard. So this is David's storyboard, and you can see in order to make those collars, you need to make some special tooling.
Yeah.
So part of coming out of level 3 is like, okay, I want to make this thing and I need to make some tooling for it. And so now we're getting into some really complicated tooling. So that's kind of what's behind the curriculum. And then when you come out of the curriculum, I'll just show an example from yesterday. This is something that Adrian Legg demonstrated at the CBA conference this time, which is basically using level 2 skills to make something that's, I think this is just super awesome. So you've got a treble clef, but it's using the halfpenny scroll here, and then the beveled scroll there. And then you've got kind of a square corner-ish here going on, and some complicated maneuvering to get that to all fit together. So, you know, all these skills are things you learn in the curriculum. So that's one of the things that's kind of neat about the curriculum, is you can go lots of different directions with it. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to say.
All right. Well,
I don't know if you have any questions.
What got you into blacksmithing to begin with?
Oh yeah, so about, I think it was around 2012, I was with my then 9-year-old son, and we were visiting my parents, and went to visit Williamsburg, where they have a blacksmith shop, and my son was fascinated by this, and he said, I'd really like to become a blacksmith. And he read that you could become a blacksmith, become an apprentice at like the age of 11 back in colonial Williamsburg. So he decided he wanted to do this, and so when we got back to LA, I live in Los Angeles, I looked for some place that he could learn blacksmithing, and there's Adams Forge in Los Angeles. It's a great school if anybody wants to learn blacksmithing. I teach there once in a while. So I looked and found that they had classes. He was a little bit too young, so I took the class, and then the rest is history. I loved it. I took all the classes that they had. I started teaching, and then I really discovered that teaching is the thing that I really like to do. I get kind of bored if I have to make the same thing over and over. I don't have any interest in selling stuff, but the thing I like to do is to teach people how to do this stuff, and so that's kind of how I got more and more involved in CBA and in ABANA. And the thing that I really like to do is teach instructors so that the instructors can go out and teach. So that's kind of my specialty.
And you do Zoom classes too on occasion,
Yeah,
right?
so through ABANA and through CBA, we do Zoom classes. ABANA has the level 1, level 2, and we're just starting the next version of the level 3 Zooms. They're available right now. The first one will be at the end of April. And it will actually be on this welded collar that David is showing today. And then over time we're getting those up on YouTube so that anyone can watch those. But those Zoom classes come with coaching. And that's something that I'm super excited about. It seems to be working because we have people from all over, actually the country, all over the world. We've had students in Australia, Thailand, Germany, lots of people from Canada, people from all over the US who have taken these Zoom classes, and we're able to coach them through the curriculum in small groups, and that's really been a great way to kind of help people who don't have something as amazing as CBA near them. And what we found is that a lot of our students actually they're not near a school, they're not near an affiliate, or it's far enough away that it's hard for them to get to. So this is a resource that's available for people, and we're really excited about that. And
it's super useful because I'm 4 hours away, and I can check out the YouTube videos
Right.
and learn a lot of stuff.
Right.
I mean, in-person classes are the best, but if you don't have that opportunity, online is awesome.
Right. And then the other thing about that is most places have some kind of beginning blacksmith, but as you start to get into the more complicated things, you might not have a smith with that skill set near you. So this way we're bringing these people together, and we're all kind of teaching each other. And so it's a great way to learn.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Anything else
welcome.
you'd like to add?
I don't think so, but if you're not a member of ABANA, I would just throw out there that what we're doing with education is really amazing, and it's worth supporting that. We're going to conferences like CBA, and we're going to Can Iron this year to try to bring the national curriculum. So definitely check it out if you haven't, because it's super. It's really a super thing. So
It's a great way to build your skills.
yes.
Like 100%. You could do this on your own, but if you follow the curriculum, you're going to learn a lot more.
Right.
You're going to do stuff that you wouldn't normally do just
That's
because.
Right. And everyone I know who's done the level 3 grill, which is not a pitch to do it, but they come out of it, go in going, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm never going to make through it. And then at the end, they come out and said, I learned so much, and I can do so much more than I could before, even if it's not directly related to the skill set that you learn in there, because it's such a learning curve to get through it.